have become that most wretched of human beings, a person who tells stories about his cat. That's not the worst thing I've ever been. The worst thing I've ever been was I was that kid who made up song parodies because I thought I was Weird Al Yankovic. No, that's not the worst thing. The worst thing is I was the kid who made up song parodies using the names of my friends in order to mock them. You can imagine that I was extremely popular. I was mature beyond my years. My favorite was my sister, Sharon. Let's see, the old folk song classic, Shenandoah. By the way, I only ever sing ironically to make fun of people, so bear with me. But I would be like, oh, Shenandoah, I shall not date you. Go away, you ugly sister. We had a great relationship. There's also this other girl I liked named Eliza, so of course I would flirt with her by, there's a hole in my bucket. The lyrics for that one were not appropriate for a family audience, so I won't repeat that. But, the whole soundtrack of My Fair Lady. All I want is a room somewhere, locked alone with Eliza Blair. And other sexual harassy kind of things. But she married me anyway, so she's right there. Say hi, everyone. So, Eliza loves cats. She really loves cats. She's one of those people who wishes she could hug every cat. And unfortunately, the demographics of cat reproduction mean that's mathematically impossible, but she does her best. She fosters cats, so she takes in cats that other people have abandoned, waiting for them to get adopted. So when I first moved in with her, her foster cat was this cat named Cinnamon. And Cinnamon was a beautiful cat. She had a beautiful coat. She was multicolored. She was a purebred Maine Coon. She was show quality, or she had been several years ago. At this point, they had given her up for adoption. She was 10, 11 years old, and she was like Norma Desmond in Sunset Boulevard. Her beauty had sort of faded, and she kind of grown outward into a fat, shapeless mass, and she kind of lost herself in her neuroses and her hungering for past that no longer existed. So, when we got her, she was extremely neurotic. She would refuse all human contact except to either yowl for food, or if you dropped any article of clothing on the floor for more than 30 seconds, she would immediately urinate all over it. I don't know what kind of message she was trying to send. Maybe it was just she was offended by our slovenliness or something. But, Eliza didn't like her very much. Eliza loves every cat, so that's saying something. I bonded with her a lot because when I moved in with Eliza, I was unemployed, so we both had a lot in common. We both kind of just sat around. We were both banking on the kindness of someone who was growing increasingly frustrated with us. And there was this moment when I came home, and I don't know what it was. I'm not an expert on cat psychology, my wife is, but I came home, and I closed the door, and Cinnamon jumped up from where she was, and she gave me this weird look, this expectant, do you know what's going to happen look? And then she starts leading me, running a few paces, looking back, running a few paces, and I followed her to the couch, and she jumps up on the armrest of the couch, and she's staring at me, what's going to happen next is of cosmic importance. And it clicks for me. Whoever gave her up for adoption after owning her for 10 years used to have a routine where they came home from work, she would meet them on the couch, and I sat down next to her on the couch, and I started petting her, and for the first time ever, I heard her purr, and it was purring loud enough to fill the whole apartment. It was for that moment, everything was okay. Everything was the way she remembered it had been. And at that moment I knew, urine-soaked carpet or no urine-soaked carpet, we're keeping this cat. So I kept, making the case, and I wore my wife down, and eventually we adopted her, and I became the worst of all things. I became the person who makes up song parodies about their cat. I would just be sitting with the cat, and let's see, I had a whole repertoire. There were TV show theme songs. Now come sit round and hear a tale about a grumpy... come sit round. I can't even do it. But if you left your shirt on the floor, she'd pee on it in 10 seconds flat. There's Cinnamon, there's Peggy too. There's a hamster in his cage. There's some humans who just bring the food, all on Cinnamon's Isle. Or there was Beyonce. All the sinner ladies, all the sinner ladies, all the sinner ladies, all the sinner ladies hopped on the bed, just got fed, doing her own little thing. Clothes on her, she's on your clothes, she don't care less where she pees. If she likes it, then she's gonna put her butt on it. If she likes it, then she's gonna put her butt on it. If she likes it, then she's, yeah. So anyway, the best one was the prog rock standard by Kansas. Carry on my cinnamon, there'll be treats when you are done. Lay your furry head to rest, don't you pee no more. So, you know, Cinnamon became a part of the family, and things got slowly better. We discovered the things that she liked, discovered the foods that she preferred. She started to come out of her shell, accept that we were her new family. We found a specific brand of red throw pillows that she loved to grab with her claws and bite and destroy, so we laid up a supply of those. Discovered a treat that she actually liked, which was Eliza's earwax. It had to be Caucasian earwax for some reason. Asian earwax didn't work. And then one day we discovered on one of her joints a little lump. And it turned out, you know, we went and had it inspected, and the vet said, well, no, this is very common, it's an injection site tumor. Cats for generation, they used to put mercury salts in the vaccinations that they got. And it's malignant, it's impossible to get rid of, and she's going to die in a year. And we thought we were going to have her for at least another 5 or 6 years, and it was tough. It was really tough. It's the first time I've ever watched a living thing close to me sicken and die, and you know, this was like our practice kid, our fur child, right? First thing that we'd ever adopted together, so you know, not a great track record so far, but we watched her hair slowly fall out, we watched her stop eating, stop having the energy to move around or play, and eventually it was time, and we didn't want to take her to the vet, so we called a vet who made house calls, and he came in and he brought the needle to, you know, put her to sleep, and it was a really hard thing to do, and it was over really fast. It really was like she went to sleep. She had a moment where the needle went in, and she was shocked, and she almost meowed, and then she just kind of went limp, and in that moment, it was the first and only time I've ever been moved to sing unironically, but I just said, carry on my cinnamon, there'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest, don't you cry no more. Ever since then, prog rock gets me a little bit verklempt, which isn't the reaction you're supposed to have. But you know, I've moved on, and our new cat, who's even bigger and stupider, I've moved on to a prose, so I'm currently writing an adaptation of Death of a Salesman, Death of a Sales Cat, starring our cat, and I can talk about that another time. Thank you so much.